Tonight, from Commander's Field in Landover, Maryland, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders taking on Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, the sun has gone down, but the excitement level has gone up as kickoff draws near here on an autumn night just outside of D.C. at Commander's Field. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
Here's Austin Seibert now to get this one started. And off we go from Northwest Stadium in Landover. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the Falcons make their way out behind their new quarterback for 2024. Signed back in March, the veteran Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a fourth-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
First carry of the game now for the Texas superstar, Bijan Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
From the 29, here's second down and 7. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. Here's Cousins. That is caught. He'll have the first down and more than that. Touchdown, Falcons. Drake London, 74 yards. And the Falcons march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Seven 7-0 is our score. Ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. That didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Daniels. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to have a Commander's first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And he'll get this to the 32.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
To the air goes Daniels. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Daniels. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And he used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. To throw is Daniels. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. Down the sideline he goes. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will, 1st and 10. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
Robinson will score. Touchdown, Atlanta. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Come on. 60 vices.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 6. Here's the first carry for Austin Ekeler. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here comes 3rd and about a foot. Daniels looking to throw. That pass caught by McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
For many people, that's not your standard play call in that 3rd down situation. But for so many offenses, they just want the ball in the hands of their playmakers in open space. And after he caught it, he did a nice job picking up the first down.
The slot man in motion right. Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Robinson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Robinson gets the toss on the right side. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's Daniels. Open man is Noah Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action, now it's Daniels. That's into the hands of his tight end Bates. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Now Daniels. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got it. Touchdown, Washington. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Commanders have got it back to within a score. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They begin the drive with Robinson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
First down, here's Cousins. He'll get this complete to Charlie Warner. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. That's good, the completion there for 7 yards. And that will bring up second down. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. Now 2nd and 3. To throw is Cousins. It's complete to Robinson. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
They got a completion there. That's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
Cousins on 1st down. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. His throw incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game. But after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Cousins. Got a man. It's London. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. To the air again, it's Cousins. Touchdown, Falcons! Drake London with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Falcons will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Koo now for the point after. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown catch from Drake London. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Commanders back out late in this 1st half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Daniels now on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review and play, rules of the field reversed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Tress Way on fourth down is sent out to punt. Back deep, Ray McLeod. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it will be Falcon football. And the Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Cousins now. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Second and 10. Cousins to throw it. Throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep here, Jamison Crowder. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Second down and 6 now. Looking to throw. Daniels. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. final shot before break. Daniels, he's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. It was the former Longhorn Bijan Robinson who was tough to stop in that first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Robinson up the middle. And this is going to be a Commander's first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun. Daniels. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Here's 2nd and 10. Hand off now to Robinson. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Right there. 54. Right there.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 3rd and 5. Now Cousins. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Cousins now from the 50. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. They'll find him. Find him.
In the 3rd quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this will be caught by Mooney. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. That pass complete to Moore. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Off the play fake, Cousins. He's got his target. That's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
They'll run here with Algier. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Great coverage down in the end zone. He's scanning the field, looking. No one ever came open. So in the end, he makes the best decision and just fires it over the end line.
3rd and goal for Cousins. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Fourth down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. Koo knocks this one through the posts, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. And able to get this out to the 25. The Washington offense set to take over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A first down throw for Daniels. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Daniels. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Daniels. And that's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking for the out route, and he's got it. It's complete to McCaffrey. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, caught by London. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. On the counter, this is Robinson. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
On 1st and 10, it's Algier. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
On the give, here's Robinson. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
For the guys on defense, this has been a physically taxing drive, but it's also hurt them mentally because they just gave up another 1st down, and now they're confronted with how do we stop these guys and get off the field?
Left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Algier going straight ahead. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. And right side, they're going to go option here. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Now 3rd down and 7. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to make it 4th down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Washington, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.